Hello, welcome on Greg and Chris. Let's talk. Today, it will be a solo talk, let's say monologue. I will do it without Greg. It is part of the Let's Talk of this channel, okay? If you remember, I said that sometimes we will speak about things that we like or that you like and that you would like us to talk about. Yes? Okay, but okay, Greg, it's nearby, okay? If you hear the noises, okay, it's Greg. Maybe you can say cuckoo. So that, yes, I'm not alone, guys.
Hello.
I'm not alone, guys. I mean, just for the past 2 seconds. Okay, back to the topic of today. I would like to talk about, let's say that it's a follow up on the last post that we did. Yes, remember, I was a guest panelist on a podcast, Sussex Squad podcast. And thank you guys. You have been hundreds to watch this video, and most of you commented, and I received some questions on my DM. Let's make something clear, okay? I am just a Success Squad member. Of course, we usually say that it's not a membership, but hello, I'm too proud to be part of that team. Okay, it's a big family. It's a global family, and any Success Squad member will know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so as let's say a Success Squad member, just as a member, okay, of this big family, I would like to give my, let's say, my personal input. All right. And most of you, among the hundreds who have watched our videos, our last post, tended to be confused. Okay, most of you thought that it was Sussexes Squad podcast. I mean, the original one with Tina and Michelle. It's not the case. I tried my best to explain to most of you on the comments that no, guys, I am not Tina, I am not Michelle, I was just Christelle, one of the guest panelists, and based on that, most of you understood and they redirected, for example, their comments also to Tina and Misha. And thank you to the ladies of the Success Squad podcast for once again inviting me. It was a great honor. It was a pleasure. I mean, it's a very cozy, supporting family. I think that the Duchess of Sussex, Harry also, the Prince Harry, it is the principle that we apply in the Success Squad are just the reflection of who our faves are. All right. So I will try to make this video a little bit, let's say, shorter because I tried the editing part. Really, I'm not good at that, but I'm still learning. Okay, I'm still learning. Greg is doing his best. We are trying to, to navigate in this crazy world of electronic and yes. So my main focus today will just be to answer to the questions, okay, that I received. I mean, I have picked the most not appealing one. Thank you to those who sent their questions, but mostly to I will answer. I will select it. Okay, I selected four four out of those that I received because I think that I will expand a little bit more under those questions. They need some expansion because it is related also to the fundraising which is going on now in the honor of Archie. So I think that we should just focus on that and not be distracted. okay, with what is going on. I mean, when I say with what is going on, I'm not talking about the COVID, coronavirus. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you know, what is going on, right? Uh, let's say the royal rodent trying to do their things to distract us and to divide us at the best, at the worst. Okay, so let's talk. The first question is, okay, where supporting the Duchess, yes, where do you stand with the squad? It's as if I already answered this question at the introduction, because, like I said, I think that we are a global family. So, if you are in, you are in. Okay, it's not, you can't be part in and part out. Okay, let's say that our affairs wanted to be that way, working for the Queen, but you know how it ended. So it is quite clear it's not for us to work part in, part out. Or we are in or we are out. So I am all in. And like the rest of the Sussex Squad member, I stand with the Sussex, with the Sussexes. Okay, so uh this is part of the first question about where I stand with the squad. My story with Lady Dinah. Okay, yes, it's because during the podcast with Tina and Michelle, at the moment I spoke a little bit about the fact that I was interested more in Harry than in William, because he was the youngest, yes, and I was really keen on seeing where life would lead him to. So my story with Lady Diana, his mother, is that my mom was a great fan of Lady Diana Spencer. Late Lady Diana, late Princess of Wales. Back in the 80s, this was 1 year before she got married to Prince Charles, which means that my mom at the time was in Europe for her studies, and at that moment, around 98, this was in 1980, Princess Diana was engaged to Prince Charles, and then a year later she got married. And my mom was still in Europe, mostly in France for her studies. And then she watched live, the wedding on television, presented by one of her favorite TV presenter, TV host, Leon Zitron. I think he's dead by now. And my mom was really in. I wonder that she did not even name one of her daughter after the princess. So, but she told us the story when we were born, when we grew up. She told all the story of Princess Diana. But in those days, no one knew about what was really going on. Okay, we still, this is my mom generation. They still had this image of the fairy tale, and because it was a big wedding, no, it was the wedding dress was, it was endless. You know the story. It was endless, and yeah, and her firstborn was born the same year as I was born too, and Harry was born the same year as my little sister. So it's quite weird. So okay, and in 1992, that is 10 years after William was born, Princess Diana traveled to my country, because if you remember our first post, uh, I am from Cameroon, which is located in the West Central Africa, but mostly Central Africa. I know that Tina from Sussex Squad was just like, no, Cameroon is located in the west. This was the old map of Cameroon, but this is for another day. Okay, so I'm originated from Cameroon, Central Africa, actually the heart of Africa. And also, Cameroon is like Canada. We have an English speaking region and we have a French speaking region. So, the English speaking region is a part of the Commonwealth, but this is something not so old. We entered the Commonwealth around 2000, so it's not so, we are a young member of the Commonwealth. Not because, like the rest of the Commonwealth countries, we were a colony. No, it's just that because of the trusteeship, my country was under it, and because of economic and trade reasons, my government, Cameroonian government, decided or wished to be part of Commonwealth, not because of the prestige. I think that behind that big organization there are some profits. So Cameroon is then part of the Commonwealth, and as a Commonwealth country, Princess Diana in those days was visiting Commonwealth countries in Africa. And then in 1992, she traveled to Cameroon. And it's from that moment that, okay, I was born already, and uh, I was just like, okay, wow. It was not really the part of the being a part of the monarchy because, hello, we didn't really care. I think the fact that I remember, again, I remember the way she dressed that year. It was a very colorful, flourish, coat with uh, with a skirt, the same, it was the same material. And she had her hair cut, her famous short hair cut. And for me, she was strikingly beautiful. I usually never pay attention to the physical, part of human being when it comes to beauty, but she was so compassionate. And I was just watching on TV, and I was just like, who's that lady? And then my mom said, and you remember I told you about, she's the one. I was just like, what? Okay, she's here in Cameroon. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, so that is how, and from that moment, I was hooked up. I was hooked up. I really started being interested in what she was doing. But in those days, we didn't have the social media thing. We didn't have mobile phone. We didn't have all this all this craziness of internet. We didn't have it really. And so I could only read magazines. Most of the magazines sold in the French region were coming from France, and France was taking its information from the British media. So we could see the first magazines which were out. We could see a range of mistresses, Prince Charles mistresses. I didn't really know about the story of Camilla, that is the Duchess of Cornwall. And because there were so many, mistresses that he had. And I have never seen Prince Charles in Cameroon, so I was just like, whatever. I'm just standing Princess Diana. I saw her, and I saw how she was behaving around. She was so, sympathetic. She was so empathetic that, there was nothing telling you that she was actually from one of the oldest monarchy in Europe, if you understand what I mean. She was so, I think that if she could, she would have wore sneakers. And but remember, in 1992 she was still in the royal family, so she was still trying to follow protocol somehow. So I think that maybe they will have estimated that maybe her clothes will not have been appropriate for the moment, and so I mean, talking about the informations that that we were receiving at the time, it was mostly about Prince Charles being going to a winter resort with one of, we don't know who, the nanny. I think there was a story about the nanny. There was an old picture with her wearing some kind of, red or orange jacket, and skiing with him during winter. Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Exchanging kisses with her. Picture. It was about fact. In those days, it was about fact. It was not hearsay or no story. Fake stories as we can see today. You had pictures. You actually had pictures. So, and then when the divorce, when they announced to, Cameroon news that the queen has decided that they will divorce, I was just like, how come the queen decides for other people that it's time for them to divorce? I was quite confused. But yes, the queen decided that they should divorce. They must divorce. They must divorce. Sorry, and this was just a result. This actually came after the interview that Princess Diana did, the famous interview. Yes, after this, it was. I think that she did the interview. Now, after so many years, I understand that. I think she did the interview at the moment that the queen told her, you know what, it's time for you to just leave. And maybe at that moment she was just like, I have nothing to lose. The only thing that I have to do is just to tell my children that I have to go on TV because it will be ugly. So in the press, I remember in the press at the time, they were writing that she had a conversation with William, and she was telling him that, okay, I have to go and tell my own story on TV, so I prefer to tell you now so that you will not be surprised or shocked that, and blah blah blah. So she always tried to preserve Harry. So I don't really know if Harry was also there when she told him so, but everything was, in the press. So after this interview, then it was announced that the queen has decided that they must divorce. Okay, she wanted them to divorce. So they divorced. They proceeded with that, and then I remember when Princess Diana went in. I don't know if it was a court. I don't know exactly. I don't remember. I was young. I was very young. It was. I think I was a teenager. I might have been. I just don't remember. Between 15 and 17, I just don't remember. And then when she came out, when Princess Diana came out of that building, she has just signed the divorce paper, and then from that moment, I mean, it turned. Let's say that I lost track. I lost track because then one time she was traveling for organization, and then the rest of the time she was spending some holiday time with her friend, a male friend, and or her children. Between the time of her divorce and the time of her untimely death, it wasn't it wasn't too long. So she didn't have the time, to actually now, settle and start, hit the ground running. No. So it was quite short, but so fast. Anyway, for me. And then I remember the day they announced what happened. I remember I didn't sleep well that day. It was early in the morning, and around 12, 1 p.m., it was announced No, I mean, I have never cried before for someone, and it was my first time ever to cry for someone. I think it's because, I remember I was collecting, after reading those magazines, I used to cut, her pictures, I had a book, a notebook where I used to I put the glue and I used to put this. I mean, I I remember I was taking my bath and then my little sister came and said, you know that the lady that you like so much. I was in a type of dynamic where I didn't really like people, so so I didn't really like people so much, so I didn't actually open or show my feelings for someone so much. Yes, let me take what I said previously back. I didn't open myself or show my feelings so much. Only I started doing that only for Princess Diana. And my sister came to me and through the window of of the bathroom, she said, Christelle, the lady that you like so much, that princess. I was just like, I know at the time I knew only one princess. I said, Princess Diana? She said, yes, she might be the one, the blonde one that you were talking about. I said, yes. And my sister said, she died. My heart just stopped. And I was just like, what? And she said, yes, she had an accident. And they said that, I mean, my head, and I started crying. I mean, I busted under my shower and I was just crying. I didn't even check. I didn't check if my sister actually described the right person. It's like something in me knew because that day I was not, I was not at ease with myself. I was so uncomfortable. And then when my sister said it, I just busted. I cried. In at the moment I thought everybody could understand, my pain. But no, I was in Africa and in Cameroon and telling this story to the rest of the family, and they were just like, okay. But they couldn't understand. First, I think they were surprised to see me crying. I've always been this kind of person, keeping my feeling inside, taking the blow and just, move on. And they were just like, wow, okay. And the day the ceremonial, burial and all this, I I refused to do any domestic chore at home. So I just sat in front of the TV. It was live. I just watched this. I don't remember how long it was, but from the moment we could see people aligning on the, along the road, and people were crying. It was so silent. It was so, and I was just glued to the TV. And I mean, you know, those who live that moment understand what I mean. And I was so angry. I was so angry because I was angry at the royal family. I didn't have all the informations, but I was angry. Because logically speaking, I was just like, we know or we knew that her husband was cheating around. There were tons of pictures of mistresses, the nannies, the friend, this and that. Just that one in itself was so, I mean, so for me it was like her husband did not support her. She was just wanted to be happy. She just wanted to find love. She did not take the right decision. Maybe she broke maybe she almost broke some wedlock, but she just wanted someone to love her. And I was so angry at the royal family. I was angry at the queen. I mean, Just that. And from the moment I saw her sons following her coffin, I don't know why. No, I had a glance at William, but I don't know why I was looking at the youngest. It's not as if I knew better. I was just a teenager, but I was just like, gosh, God, help them, help him. So then after this, I just shut down. I did not want to hear anything about British royal family. I mean, my interest, I was just like, since she's no more there, to love her children, to what's the point for me to still, to have any interest toward that family, and I just shut down. And then few years ago, I kept looking afar how Harry was doing. Because let me say this, ladies and gentlemen, I always had a crush on red hair men. I think they are unique when it comes to the Caucasian type, of course. I'm talking about the Caucasian type. I think red hair men or female are unique. I like what is unique. I like what is not common. No, the follow the trend is really not my culture. So and once again, the information coming from UK about those two boys, now men, were only about Harry. Harry is partying, Harry is festing, Harry is here and there, Harry this, Harry that. I could almost see a halo, over William. It was all about Harry did this, Harry did that. I could not even blame the guy. I don't know why. I was just like, well, I'm curious to see how it will be when getting old. But I have never ever thought about Harry in a light way, about Harry in a funny way. I can't really explain why, but I've never done that. I could have just stick to what I know the newspaper were telling, and okay, and just go with that. But I was just like, no, I just hope that he will end well. That was the only thing I was saying. I just hope that he will end well. I didn't really have any. I mean, thought about his his elder brother. I mean, he was a perfect one. Yes. So of course, today we understand that is the narrative that was actually, being spread around the world. So then, but still, like I said, I keep looking at Harry's life from afar. And then 4 years ago, a friend of mine in France told me, do you know what, Christelle? Harry, she said, the girlfriend of Harry is getting backlash. I was just like, it's just, she might just be one more girlfriend. I didn't actually know who my friend was talking about because I could only see blonde girls around Harry, so I was just like, oh, it's just one more rodeo. And then she said, I looked and I understand now why they are saying that her mother is black. And I went check and I saw that her mother is black. I said, what? Whoa, stop. Are you telling me that the girl is a black one? And she said, oh, she's half white, she's half. I don't actually like the term white because no one is white. For me, being white is like being like this. Sorry, I prefer to say Caucasian. Okay, white is this, and black is this. And as you can see, there is a shade. So I said, wait a minute, is she biracial? She said, yes. I said, oh, okay, girl. Now it becomes interesting. It is just when she said this, I was just like, now it's becoming interesting. And then, at the time, I was so busy working all day long. And when back home, I was still working online. So I could sleep only 2, 3, let's say maximum 5 hours a day. The rest of the day I was working online, offline. So I was just like, okay, when I will have time, I will check on that. But that's good for the guy. I think that the girl will know he will watch himself. He will watch himself. That's just what I had this little talk with my friend. I just told her, okay, by the way, shout out Natalie. So you can easily find Natalie on Instagram at I love my difference. Yes, she's promoting tall girls identity. So back to my story with Lady Diana. uh I was just like, okay, I hope that this guy will watch himself, because as a black woman, we don't accept shit. Sorry for my language, but I prefer to say it. We do not accept crap. We don't like to waste our time. And something is telling me that the way he's behaving with, or he was behaving with his exes, this is a different game. I just said it just like this, out of, just like this. So, let's say, if I have to give my insight about this, let's say that my interest about the Sussexes actually, yes, started from his mother, and now happily is going on. you know and yes, there was a big break of 20 years, and then I'm back with my interests. And then yes, wow, I would say, this was just a little prayer that hopefully he will watch himself. And